Alright, welcome back for a second look at Oxygen Not Included. This is probably going to be the only other one I do on this for a while until they add more content. Because unfortunately, you can't get really too far. I'll show you some of the cheese mechanics to deal with oxygen and carbon dioxide and stuff, but there's just not enough. There's not enough food to get and maintain, and even when you do the, well, we can't look at it until we get the research station built. We can't even look at research, but regardless, you get this planter box, and depending on the temperature and the oxygen levels, they seem to grow faster, but you just can't get enough food. I made it to cycle 18 trying this out, and by that time I only had 4 people, and I had 6. I had 6 of these plants on one side and 3 of them on another side, and they create 1,500 calories worth of food per harvest, and that wasn't enough to keep these people fed. So it's a little crazy. And like, these plants are only one-time uses. These are for decorations. And so I don't know how you're supposed to get more food. You can kind of hunt. Your people will get hurt, but you can fight some of the alien wildlife and get meat from them, but they're not really abundant either. I mean, as you can see, we don't even see any right now. Sometimes they're burrowed under the ground. If I see one of those, I'll show you. But yeah, so whatever. What I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to dig all this out and make like floors, and then build basically a ladder down into here where these 2 vacuums are. This is probably what I'm going to do, and let all the carbon dioxide float down here. All the oxygen will remain up where we need it. So let's get that started, and I can kind of show you, you know, how that works. Maybe, hopefully, unless something crazy happens, right? So I'm not going to take any new dupes when they come up. They're all just going to get denied. Need to try to preserve the food as long as possible. And once we get the research bench up, I'll show you the farming tree. There's not a whole lot of options for food at all. I kind of disagree with their statement on their store page or their website. I don't think the game is in a state to where it should have been released, honestly. These are the only tutorials that pop up. There will be 2 more that will talk about contaminated water and the dupes getting water, and that's really about it. I think there's 1 more, and then you'll just see that they need toilets, they need beds, and that you're not producing enough oxygen. But even when you are producing enough oxygen, like right now, when they breathe out, they create these little red carbon dioxide bubbles. Oxygen rises above other gases, carbon dioxide drops below at least oxygen. I don't know about the other gases, but like, so we wouldn't want to dig into here just yet, because all this crap's going to enter our system. But what we will do is dig out this stuff right here. We'll actually build some tile floors down, and we'll make some actual floors. So let's kind of get started on that. Let them work that out. They're gonna have to poop eventually. Same thing with that. Gonna end up putting that somewhere down here because it creates a yellow, toxic, diseased freaking oxygen, which is always fun, let me tell you. Go there, and we'll go here. Let's go all the way down, and then we'll go here. All right. What are you doing? I don't know if you can hear that. My cat's playing in one of her water, like, these like tunnel toys. I don't know if anybody who watches has ever owned ferrets, but you know, you can buy like these smaller tunnels for ferrets. Guess she had enough. She didn't want to hear me talk, and leave the door a little cracked so she can get in and out whenever she wants. Anyway, so I bought her like a bigger version of that, and she just loves the thing. Hides in there and attacks you when you walk by. Whoops, I should probably be paying attention to the game. Go ahead and collect these. I don't think they regrow. Sorry guys. Why aren't you building... You probably don't have the materials. So let's do this. They have plenty of materials now. Alright. Home button. My bad. Okay. A little storage container. Now with these, you want to make sure they don't keep contaminated dirt and things like that are contaminated out, or these will start producing toxic air as well. For right now we'll do all, but at some point we're going to get contaminated stuff that we're going to need to get out of there. Okay, so you got to go potty already. I guess for now we'll build it right there, and then later we'll build it down here. Which kind of sucks because it ends up being so freaking far away that they crap themselves and you got to clean that up too. So we want to keep this uncontaminated for as long as possible. Oh, okay, so also they're having trouble breathing because all this carbon dioxide's coming down here now. Which we'll get that worked out as soon as we get a research thing up. We'll get some stuff that can filter out the carbon dioxide a little bit better. Alright, where do we want power and stuff to go? Probably up here. Yep, sleep on the ground. Oh, yeah. This actually gets kind of annoying. I mean, it does to me. I mean, other people probably think it's cute, but after, you know, I've seen people claim that they've made it to 365 cycles. I don't know what you'd be still doing in the game at that point, because there wouldn't be anything left. Like, you need this algae like it's crazy in order to produce oxygen or convert the carbon dioxide over, and it's not an infinite supply and there's no way around it. It's just what you need it for. Which we'll be harvesting all of this algae once we get this stuff down here done, and I'll drop all this carbon dioxide down into these holes. I need you guys to finish this. No bathroom breaks, finish this. Unfortunately, it's not like RimWorld. At least I don't think I can force them to do it. I don't know. I don't know how they clean their hands or anything like that either. Sore back, so that's what you need a massage thing for. Well, you guys aren't getting any of that crap, I'll tell you that right now. Okay. You see that? All that carbon dioxide already fell down in there. We will end up getting a algae thing down here to convert the carbon dioxide over. Almost want to put their living quarters up here, which is what I think we should probably end up doing. But I need to get the research going. Crap. Oh, look at all that carbon dioxide too. Might want to clean that out. I don't know. We'll figure this out here in a second. See, the problem is okay, if we put the research bench and the electricity and stuff up here, it all creates carbon dioxide and like toxic oxygen. Just from them using it. I don't know where the toxic oxygen's coming from, honestly. I guess the equipment's creating it somehow. But with them working up here, it'll create carbon dioxide, and if you put their sleeping quarters in the same spot, they'll have trouble breathing, yada yada yada. So what I kind of want to do is build up some more and build sleeping quarters, like, for now, right in here. We got a freaking keyboard in here. Alright. Get to it. And another one of these. Contaminated dirt. See? We don't want any of that. I'm gonna go ahead and put contaminated dirt down here, probably. Later, when you guys can breathe. You know what? Screw it. It's going down there. Very, very don't starve sounds. Perfect. Now you can take contaminated dirt. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, sorry about that. Animals were playing around. I muted the mic and totally forgot about it. So I'm just gonna record over this. And there's gonna be a little bit back and forth because I've already recorded like 52 minutes of it. And there's another clip after this one. I'm not entirely sure how long I went and forgot to turn my mic back on, to be perfectly honest. Looks like it was quite a while though. So that was genius on my part. Anyway, as far as the game goes, there's only so much you could do, and a little bit later on, if I haven't already showed it off in this clip, which I'm sure I haven't because we're just now getting the power set up, but with the pipe system and moving the different gases around, there's not really a way to do it efficiently. Yeah, you can build a gas pump in one area and it pumps there, but the gas doesn't move there. There's no intake for the pipes. At least if there is, I haven't seen it, and there's not one in the research menu. And if you just build a pipe somewhere, it doesn't automatically start intaking anything. Only that gas pump intakes, and then there's an outtake vent, which has some kind of deal with pressurization. That's not explained. So yeah, there's that. I could probably just cut this video down, except for I want to try to show as much as possible. Here I'm trying to explain the food mechanics, but you know, I'm talking to myself because I didn't realize I had the mic still muted. And then I'm just explaining the next course I'm deciding to take on technology. Here I'm showing you that there's not more food options. You have the planter box on that left one that's pink, and on the blue one I'm explaining the just the different items, and I'm reading off the descriptions and how these items are basically useless, and they probably end up using more calories to create the food than you're producing anyway. And it's kind of a pain in the ass to collect all the food anyway. If I'm a little bit lighter on this, it's because I have the mic sitting pretty far away from me at this point, about an arm's reach distance. But yeah, there's not too much more to say about it. You can move around water, you can set up electricity. I'm sure you've seen in the videos people have all these elaborate things designed, but they're doing that in some kind of editing mode or something, because your people will run out of food way before you get there. By cycle, I think 13, you're out of food that you start with, and that's even with collecting a little bit of food. Now, I got a little bit late on the start with planting the food in this. You're not going to see it on this episode, you'll see it on the next one. But you know, and here what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make a man-made vent system to get all of the carbon dioxide down to the bottom floor. Which works a little bit. We still end up having to build oxygen generators, of course, because there's nothing putting in new oxygen. See, I'm talking about how all the carbon dioxide went ahead and fell down in there as soon as I opened up that room, which is what we want. And we're going to end up building that algae terrarium thing down there to convert the carbon dioxide over into oxygen. And here I'm talking about grabbing this food in this corner, which I don't think they get to in a while. They don't automatically harvest food even if you have it in a planter box, so you have to constantly pay attention to that and harvest the food as well. But yeah, here I'm talking about how I don't want to get into that just yet. I'm going to end up building in there and having the carbon dioxide drop straight down into those other rooms, but I want to get those rooms set up first, right? So I'm just getting this prepped to do that. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out the exact way that we have it planned to work out, but that's alright. Crap happens, right? I'm going to have to talk for about 5 more minutes here because it looks like I had the mic muted forever. I don't know. I've been on the forums a little bit to see what other people have talked about. Honestly, what's crazy is there's not a whole lot of complaining, which is cool. But I'm surprised because, you know, there's not a lot you can do. What I'm talking about here with these plants is I've never actually gotten to harvest one of these because they need to be set at a certain temperature. Well, you use that temperature machine and it creates heat in its area and regulates temperature to the room that you put the pipes in. But I don't know how to get the pipes to actually push out, or well, I'm sorry, to take away temperature, right? Because there's no intakes, so you only have that output. So you can put up that temperature machine, it's going to create heat wherever you have it, so obviously you'd want to dig some holes somewhere and let it sit by itself. and then push the pipe to the room that you want to lower the temperature in. But it just creates more problems, and you got to deal with more electricity, which by the time you have all that, your colonists are out of their minds. Like, there's just not enough time to do anything. And I'm sure there's other people who have dedicated plenty of time to figuring some of that out, but it's not fun for me to have to go out of your way to game the game, basically. I think it takes them way too long to clean the toilets. You'll see that guy, he just started. He's going to be on it for a minute. Later on, we build a massage thing to lower their stress, and they sit on that way too long, too. Like, I mean, it's a good portion of the day they're sitting on that. We're only at cycle 4 now, and the next episode we'll make it to, I think, 13. And you're going to see me cancel out taking duplicates over and over again just because there's not enough freaking food for them, unfortunately. I don't know if I muted the mic before or after, but you can see this plant over to the right of the guy cleaning the toilet, which he's still not done with. That is only for decoration, so you dig up that plant and put it in a planter for decorations. Yip-dee. I haven't actually seen one grow. I put one in a planter, or the decoration plant, whatever. The pot that's on the decoration is very far right icon there, but I've never actually seen one grow. I'm sure they do, it's just I didn't keep playing past that point because I was already out of food and my people were starving, and I wanted to start over to see if I could do things more efficiently, which obviously I haven't figured out completely. And I'm just building all these floors because they're supposed to add to the decor and they make them move faster. It doesn't end up adding much to it because they don't start cleaning anything up right away. So here I'm deciding whether to deal with gas or deal with liquid. I think I take the liquid one because I want to get this device that I had the cursor over there that takes care of that toxic gas, which I'll probably end up showing the toxic gas in the video here in a minute. Wrap up my side commentary over this here in a moment. Hell, I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point on there anymore. Yeah, here we go. So I show you, well, I don't show you. I start talking about the toxic gas. You can see it pumping out of that little porta-john right now, the outhouse. Creates toxic gas, and at another point I talk about how I'm going to move that porta-john down to one of the lower levels once I get that algae terrarium set up, so that the toxic gas kind of centralizes down lower. Unfortunately that doesn't happen, but you'll get to see that if you keep watching, of course. I explained the storage devices. The reason I have that one down in the carbon dioxide is that's where I want all of the contaminated dirt and things like that to go down in that one, because if contaminated dirt's in one of those storage boxes, they start producing toxic oxygenated air as well, and you don't want that up there. Here I'm noticing that it's already creating that because we have contaminated dirt that they're not moving down, so I start building the next one. And I think right here's where I realize I don't have the mic on anymore, so enjoy my other voice. Been running my mouth this whole time with the mic freaking muted. So I will be talking over this and editing, which by the way, I'm gonna take a small break here. Be back in a sec. Well, for you.